who's actually going to get real value out of a 5000VA double conversion UPS, and who would be better off putting their money toward a cheaper line interactive model. If you're the kind of IT manager who can't afford a hard shutdown, or a small business owner who runs a server rack that holds client data, the answer might be a clear yes. If you're just looking for a plug-and-play backup for a desktop and a couple of monitors, the expense may start to feel like overkill. And the big question that keeps most buyers up at night, does the price really translate into everyday peace of mind? Or am I just buying a lot of metal and batteries that will sit idle most of the year? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's walk through why the Eaton 9PX 5000VA could be the right fit or why it might be the wrong one based on the way you actually use power protection. I spent the last few weeks talking to a handful of data center technicians, reading through the technical sheets, and watching a few live demo videos to see how the unit behaves when the lights go out. The goal here is to give you a realistic picture, not just a list of specs you'll see on the box. First off, the core reason anyone reaches for an online double conversion UPS is the need for clean, uninterrupted power without any transfer delay. With the 9PX, the conversion process is continuous, meaning the output never sees the raw AC line. In practice, that means a server that's writing to a database won't see a hiccup the moment the utility flickers. For a small office that runs a VoIP PBX, a point-of-sale system, or a handful of network switches, that kind of seamless protection can be the difference between a brief outage and a corrupted transaction log. The unit's interactive LCD panel makes it easy to see at a glance how much load you're drawing, which is handy when you're adding a new NAS to the rack and need to confirm you haven't pushed the UPS past its limit. One of the standout practical strengths is the built-in network 2 gigabit card. In the field I talked to, a network admin praised being able to log into the UPS from a laptop across the building, see real-time load graphs, and trigger a graceful shutdown script before the battery depleted. That remote access eliminates the need to climb into a server room just to press the shutdown button on the front panel. If you're running a rack in a separate location, or you have a managed IT service that monitors your power health, this feature saves you a few minutes of frantic phone calls each month. Battery life is another hidden cost for most UPS buyers, and the Eaton 9PX tries to address it with its ABM, Advanced Battery Management, technology. The 3-stage charging algorithm is meant to extend the lifespan of the internal lead-acid modules. In real-world terms, that translates to fewer battery replacements over the 5-year window that many businesses expect from a UPS. The optional extended battery modules are available if you need more than the default runtime. Think about a scenario where you have to keep a critical application online while waiting for a generator to kick in. Adding those modules is not cheap, but you can plan the upgrade only if you truly need the extra minutes. Now, let's talk about the trade-offs. The first thing most people notice is the physical footprint. At 6U, this unit sits taller than a typical line interactive UPS, which means you need a rack with at least that much vertical space and a bit of clearance for the front LCD and the venting. In a cramped 12U rack that's already full of servers and switches, you might end up having to reshuffle or even buy a new rack. That's a cost that often gets overlooked when people focus solely on the VA rating. Another practical weakness is the weight. With a full set of internal batteries, the 9PX tips the scales at over 70 pounds. Moving it for a maintenance swap or a relocation isn't as simple as rolling a small tower unit across the floor. If your office doesn't have a dedicated facilities team, you could end up needing a second pair of hands just to get the UPS into place. The manual does a decent job of showing how to slide the unit out of the rack, but the reality is you'll need a dolly or a sturdy cart. Power efficiency is often brushed aside, but it matters when the UPS is idle most of the day. Double conversion units typically run at 9,496% efficiency, and the 9PX is no different. Over a year, that small loss translates into a few hundred kilowatt-hours of electricity. If you're running a home lab that's powered off after hours, you might find the energy draw a bit higher than a line interactive unit that only converts when there's an outage. For a data center that's always on, the difference is marginal, but it's something to keep in mind if you're watching the utility bill closely. Who should definitely